Sacoglossans, also known as sea slugs, feed on algae, consuming the algal chloroplasts. Sea slugs don't move very quickly, and it requires a considerable amount of energy to forage for food, so it isn't ideal for them to have to constantly search for food sources. Photosynthetic performing organelles in the chloroplasts potentially provide energy for the sea slugs. This is how they would combine the sun's energy with CO2 and water to create food. This would greatly reduce the amount of foraging needed for slugs. You may be asking, what do they do with this food? Well, most digest right away, but some store for weeks to months at a time, creating a green color. Even though some plastids are stored, most are digested immediately for energy. If there is a surplus of food, the sea slugs will store the plastids away. But now, why would some of them store the plastids for a period of time, while others use them immediately? Is it to become solar-powered plantimals? Is it possible to even see a cross-use of photosynthesis and respiration? There has been many experiments to test the validity of this hypothesis. Sven Gold published his experiment in 2013, which involved 3 groups of slugs. One group was kept in 12 hours of light and 12 hours of darkness that cycled. One was kept in 12 hours of light and 12 hours of darkness, but injected with monolinearin, which inhibits photosynthesis to ensure chloroplasts did not generate any food for the sea slugs. The third group was kept in darkness constantly and deprived of food for 55 days. This experiment showed no difference in the rate of deterioration between the 3 groups. All lost their color, and all survived equally and lost weight uniformly. This means the slugs getting lighter probably has no relation to photosynthesis. This also means that the slugs are more than likely using the chloroplasts to survive long periods where there is no food available. This finding derails our theory of sea slugs being plantimals, but according to the experiment, there is no absolute proof that photosynthesis is occurring, so there is still a possibility of a true plantimal. Maybe this does not mean turning into plants necessarily, but rather storing energy. Many hibernate in winter by burrowing into sediment, where they would use the nutritious chloroplasts they have previously stored for food. But what are some other ways the slugs could be using the stored chloroplasts? After all, having a large source of energy to tap into at any time has various applications. They could also be using the chloroplast for active camouflage, or in sexual selection to demonstrate their foraging abilities. Another major question would be, how do chloroplasts keep photosynthesizing after being consumed by the slugs? Shouldn't they be dead? Chloroplasts depend on genes from the algae's own nucleus and the proteins that they code. But algal chloroplasts have the genes to code a type of protein that repairs molecular damage experienced by chloroplasts because of photosynthesis. According to Sven Gold's experiment in 2013, the protein is called FTSH. So even though they have been consumed, the original DNA programming from the algae allows the chloroplasts to keep performing repairs, regardless of their separated state. In the end, there is still no definitive evidence to either hypothesis. As far as we know, they could be using the plastids for energy through photosynthesis, and are still consuming them for energy when it's not readily available, or a little of both. Only more experimentation can truly reveal an answer in this case. Thanks for watching!